For the Detroit Lions, the 2023 draft class was an absolutely spectacular haul of talent for the club. But for the Lions, their tight end Sam LaPorta just got massive praise from one of the best in the game. We're going to talk about it in this episode, folks, so stay tuned.
What are we? What makes us what we are and what we're going to be? It's grit. It's what we started with last year, guys. Doesn't matter if you have one ass cheek and three toes. I will beat your ass.
Can definitely compete with the big dogs.
10-5 end zone touchdown Detroit Lions.
You guys are unbelievable, man. I'm telling you.
We are driven by Detroit.
Hello, Detroit Lions fans, and welcome on back to yet another episode of MCM Motor City Mania. I'm your host, David T. Pike, and as always, we're diving on in. But before we do so, I just wanted to make sure I push this out once again. I'm going to continue to push it out until we actually get to the date. But again, on the 13th of July, I'm going to be in Michigan. I'm going to again put out in a community post and also explain a little bit more clearly that I'm going to be having an event where you guys can come, you guys can sit down, you guys can meet me, we can have some good times talking football about the Detroit Lions, football in general, I don't care. Again, I'll make sure I put the time, I'll put the address, and I'll make sure to put the date. But again, it'll be a chance for anybody who wants to that's in the area to come, visit, sit down, have some food. Again, you guys are going to have to provide that for yourselves. But again, it should be a great opportunity because I know that people still wanted to see me and were a little upset about the fact that I was not able to make it to the Rent-A-Center event that I talked about, even though I tried my best to make it known that I was not going to be able to do that, but to have a live stream instead. But anyway, having put that out there, let's get into the content here really quickly. So, here's the thing, folks. When it comes to NFL tight ends right now, there are few in the NFL that can currently, compare to the productivity, the longevity that Kansas City Chiefs tight end Travis Kelce has had. And, well, let's just call it for what it is. The man is definitely going to become a Hall of Fame inductee. He's one of the best, if not the best, in the NFL right now. That's kind of the debate. It's a little bit of an argumentative point depending upon who you talk to. But he's definitely going to be going into the Hall of Fame, and it's going to be in the very near future. But when you think about it, Kelce is one of those guys where if he says something about another tight end, you better damn well pay attention to it because he is one of the best tight ends, not only in the current NFL history, but in overall NFL history. Like, if you were to put Kelce up against other tight ends in NFL history, he's definitely got to be within the top 10 somewhere. That's just how damn prolific and productive that he has been as a tight end. Now, here's the thing. Why are we talking about Travis Kelce for this episode? The reason why we're talking about him is because Travis Kelce had a very strong ringing endorsement for the Detroit Lions' current tight end of Sam LaPorta. Now, this ought to sound somewhat familiar. The reason why is because last year at about this time, Sam LaPorta got a strong ringing endorsement from another tight end that was also very high up in the NFL world, and that was George Kittle. The reason why that's the case is because George Kittle was, if I recall correctly, at Tight End University. If I recall correctly, I think he actually runs it. But the point of the matter is that much like what happened last year with George Kittle, it's now happening again with Travis Kelce. So think about this, folks. George Kittle the year prior was the one that said something about Sam LaPorta. This year, it's Travis Kelce. Let's just call it for what it is. George Kittle and Travis Kelce are the two best tight ends in the game. And then after that, it's pretty much a toss-up between Hockenson and LaPorta at this point because realistically, you're not going to find much other top-end tight ends in the NFL right now. So the fact that both Kittle and Kelce in the last 2 years have had such strong ringing endorsements for LaPorta's ability to play is absolutely mind-boggling because it's like, listen, LaPorta's only played 1 year. He just had his rookie year, but yet two of the best tight ends, not only in the current NFL, but in NFL history, are saying, yeah, this dude is good. This dude is really damn good. And think about when the Lions got him. We got him in the second round at the very top of it. For as good as LaPorta has played already, he should have easily been a first-round draft pick. Easily should have been. The fact that the Lions even got him at the top of the second round, absolute steal. Absolutely just a huge, huge bargain find. Because think about it. When you take a look at Sam LaPorta's rookie season and how prolific, how explosive, how dominant he was, I mean, just take a look at the stats for what they were. 86 receptions, 889 yards, 10.3 an average a catch, 10 receiving touchdowns, and a 71.7 catch percentage. The man caught damn near everything thrown his way, number one. Number two, he broke the Lions single season record for receiving yards. He also broke and set the NFL record for rookie tight ends for catches in a single season. And then when you think about how he produced in comparison to the other tight ends last year, he had the fourth most receptions out of all tight ends last year. He had the fifth most receiving yards out of all tight ends last year, and he was number one in the NFL out of all tight ends in receiving touchdowns. Talk about a hell of a rookie season for Sam LaPorta, and us Lions fans already know this. And there's no doubt that Sam LaPorta has a bright future in the NFL. And there's no doubt that LaPorta will continue to be heavily featured in the Detroit Lions offense that Ben Johnson runs and that Jared Goff is obviously the leader of, the quarterback of. The reason why is because, well, we know Ben Johnson used to be a tight ends coach, so the tight ends are definitely going to be featured quite a bit. But we also know Jared Goff loves throwing towards tight ends. And the fact that I'm talking about Sam LaPorta and Jared Goff built such a rapport so early already tells me that this is going to be a relationship, this is going to be a connection that continues to build for years to come, because now that Goff is going to be here for the next 5 years, LaPorta is going to have a very strong career for the beginning of his career. But let's also think about this. What exactly did Travis Kelce say? Because I've been hyping up, Sam LaPorta here. Obviously, you guys want to hear what Travis Kelce said if you haven't figured it out already. Well, Travis Kelce said two very specific things about Sam LaPorta. I'm going to how do I put this? I'm going to substitute a specific word here because I do not like using explicitives of a very vulgar nature while I'm on this type of a platform. Live stream's a little different. But for this is anybody who watches this, and I'm not going to say that here. So you're going to obviously figure out what word I'm talking about here. But this is what freaking Travis Kelce said about Sam LaPorta. And he said it in Bussin' with the Boys podcast. It's another podcast that's out on the internet. This is what Travis Kelce said. He said, LaPorta had a freaking year, dude. LaPorta had a year last year. I'm pumped on seeing where he goes this second year because his first year, he killed it. So, first and foremost, this is what Travis Kelce is already saying from the beginning of that statement. He already is recognizing, he knows how great of a year that Sam LaPorta had last year. And let's just call it for what it is. He should have been able to see that because Travis Kelce obviously was able to watch Sam LaPorta in the very first game of the year last year because we played the Chiefs last year. And then obviously, players that are within the same position group, they're obviously going to be paying attention about how other players within that group are doing, especially the ones that are playing really, really well. But again, think about this, folks. Travis Kelce's been playing in the NFL now, over a decade? Almost a decade? Somewhere around there. To say what he's saying about freaking Sam LaPorta 1 year after starting his career, that carries huge weight, folks. That carries an immense amount of freaking, verification to what kind of a player Sam LaPorta is. Sam LaPorta is a special player. There's no doubt about that. The fact that, again, like I said, Kelce has said what he just said, and also that George Kittle has said about what he said in the past about Sam LaPorta, that is huge news. But that's not all Travis Kelce said about Sam LaPorta. He then followed it up with a second ringing endorsement. He then said, dude, LaPorta is a freaking stud. LaPorta is nasty. Now, two key phrases in there. Stud, nasty. Think about this, folks. We use that word stud quite often a lot when we're talking about certain players, kind of hyping them up. But with LaPorta, you don't have to hype him up for that word. He absolutely fits that term. LaPorta is a stud. He is a very physical, very aggressive, very dominating tight end. Because let's call it for what it is. He's not only great as a receiving threat, he's very, very good, very accomplished as a blocker. For rookie tight ends that are coming out, their ability to be pass catchers, that's not that big of a problem usually. But their ability to be solid blockers coming out of college, that is a big problem. That's part of the reason why TJ Hawkinson was not usually, TJ Hawkinson was a good receiving tight end. Everybody knows that. But one of his biggest drawbacks that a lot of Lions fans kept pointing out was he was nowhere near accomplished as a blocker in comparison to his receiving talent. With LaPorta, he is not nearly as good as a pass catcher compared to a blocker. But I guarantee you this, if you were to put his blocking skills compared to other tight ends in the NFL, he's easily top 5. That's how good, even as a rookie, LaPorta is coming into the NFL. That's why, again, what Kelce is saying about LaPorta, it makes sense. And then you take a look at that second part of the phrase. He said LaPorta is nasty. You have to think about this. LaPorta, what is the one thing that we knew about LaPorta when he was coming out of college? This guy does not go down for anything. He will fight, claw, scratch for every freaking yard he can get his hands on. He will truck people. That is what makes LaPorta such an endearing quality towards Lions fans, is that, listen, he's not going to go down as soon as somebody hits him. He will fight 2, 3, 4 guys to pick up every freaking yard he can. And again, because of his ability to be a prolific blocker, that also helps out in the running game, which is like, hey, when you got guys like Gibbs and Montgomery that are also in on this, having a tight end that can help set the edge and help get that tackle loose, whether it's Sewell or Decker, or help the guard get around the edge so that way you can do those pulling trap moves, that really helps it out. So again, when you take a look at what Kelce is saying here, he is pretty much looking and saying what everybody already knows about Sam LaPorta. This dude has got a very bright future because he's already doing all the right things. He's being a professional. He's being physical. He's taking to heart all of the lessons that he knows that he has to in order to be one of the best tight ends. And the fact that after only 1 year in the NFL, he's already considered a top 3, top 5 tight end, that's saying something. And when you have the top 2 tight ends in the NFL that have both said it over the last 2 off seasons, that ought to be the biggest ringing endorsement you could possibly get in the entirety of the NFL if you're a tight end. At that point, LaPorta should be sitting on cloud 9 and be like, hey, I've got the best of the best in the game right now. Some of them are best of the best of all time that are saying, hey, I can play at this level. And not only can I play at this level, but I can play at a damn high level. And again, even though he didn't get the endorsements, the fact that LaPorta did what he did last year is proof enough. It's just nice to see the recognition from other people in the NFL that are considered the best at what they do. But having said that, I just wanted to make this quick episode, push it out so that way you guys had something to talk about, something to listen to while we're going into the weekend. But having said that, I'm going to end the episode and say thank you all for watching in another episode of MCM Motor City Mania. If you like what you saw, by all means, I highly encourage you all to watch the next episode. Also encourage you all to do one of these 3 things: like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. If by chance you subscribed in the past and forgot to do so at the time, or you just subscribed and not had a chance to do so, again, highly encourage you all to subscribe. But I also encourage you all, please, make sure you turn on that bell notification icon as well, so that way you guys never miss any more content that I push out. I also encourage y'all to share the content with your Lions friends and family members. Share it here on YouTube, share it on Twitter, share it on Facebook, share it anywhere and everywhere you can with everybody and anybody that you can. The more we share it, the greater the reach the channel has, the greater it has a chance to grow, the greater the spread. And with that being said, to everybody, I hope y'all enjoyed the content. Hope y'all having a great day. Hope you got something in your life that makes you happy, makes you smile. God bless, and until the next time we meet, I'll see you all in the next episode.